Pre-tripping to Volvo. On this side, I have a good view of all of my hoses, lines, and wires. None of the hoses are cut or frayed. They're not cracked, they do not leak, and there are no frayed wires. The coolant reservoir, it is securely mounted, filled to the proper level, and does not leak. My water pump, it is belt driven. It is securely mounted, and it does not leak. My exhaust system, it starts here. My exhaust system and the heat shield starts here. It runs up the back of the cab here. Back here, it is securely mounted. There are no loose or missing parts here. Up here, the exhaust system is free of any dents, cracks, or soot indicating an exhaust leak. Down here, we have the brake, it's called the shock absorber. Okay, so the shock absorber mounts are here. They're securely mounted. They do not leak. They're not bent or broken. They're working properly. My leaf springs, spacers, and U-bolts and mounts are all securely mounted. They're not cracked or broken. They are not scissored. There are no missing or loose nuts on the bottom of the U-bolts. My air lines, couplings, and fittings are all securely mounted. They're not cracked or broken. They're not frayed, and they do not leak. My brake chamber, it is free of any dents, cracks, or holes. It does not leak. It is securely mounted, and there are no missing C-clamp parts. My slack adjusters and push rods are securely mounted. They're not bent or broken. There are no missing parts, and they're required to have no more than 1 inch of slack, and these do not. On the inside here, we have the brake shoes. They're securely mounted. They're free of any dent or any cracks. They're not broken. They're required to have at least 1/4 inch of brake pad material, and these have more. My brake drums, they're securely mounted. They're free of any dent, cracks, holes, or illegal welds, and they're free of any grease, oil, or other debris. The inside of my tires and outside of my tire walls are securely mounted. They're free of any bulges, cracks, or deep abrasions. The tread is required to have at least 4/32 of tread depth on the steer tires, and these have more. These tires are filled to the manufacturer's specs. We know this because we've checked it with an air gauge. The rim, outside and inside of the rim, is free of any dents, cracks, holes, or illegal welds, and has a good bead. The lug nuts, they're all present and accounted for. There are no rust streaks or shiny metal indicating one is loose. The valve stem, it is securely mounted. It is not rubbing against the rim or the hub. It is not cracked, it's not broken, does not leak, and has a good cap in place. The hub seal, it is securely mounted. There are no missing bolts. It does not leak. It is filled to the proper level, and the cap is in place. Now we'll go to the passenger side. After pre-tripping the passenger side, we are now on the driver's side. On this side, I would inspect all of my hoses, lines, and wires, and this unit all the way through from here, all the way into the leaf springs, the exact same way as I did on the other side. Now on this side of the vehicle, we have an alternator. It is securely mounted. There are no missing or loose bulbs, and there are no loose wires. The serpentine belt is up here. It is not cut or frayed. It is required to have no more than 3/4 inch of slack. This one does not. Here we have the fill tube.
Go.
Here we have the oil fill tube and the dipstick. Both of them are securely mounted. They're not cracked or broken. There are no missing parts, and the fill tube has a good cap in place. On the dipstick, we will check the oil by pulling the dipstick, wiping it off with a paper towel, putting the back in and pulling it back out and reading the level of the oil. This one is filled to the proper level. A power steering reservoir. It is not cracked or broken. It is securely mounted. It is filled to the proper level, and it does not leak. The power steering pump and gearbox are located at the back of the engine. They're both gear driven. They're securely mounted. They do not leak. There are no missing parts. Up here, we have the steering shaft and linkage. It is not bent or broken, and there are no missing parts. It is securely mounted. My power steering gearbox, it is securely mounted. It is not cracked or broken, there are no missing parts, and it does not leak. My pitman arm, drag link, upper and lower control arms, and tie rods are all securely mounted. They are not bent or broken. They are securely mounted, and there are no missing castle nuts or carter pins. Here's the windshield reservoir. It is securely mounted, built to the proper level, does not leak, and the cap is in place. That concludes the under the hood compartment of this Volvo.